as I broke into that circle to work for Utah that lay. With many wounds and bruises, his young life had ebbed away. As I knelt down there beside him, I knew that all was over. But I heard him faintly whisper, "Farewell, my only Lord." It was on one Sabbath morning that I heard a preacher say, "I hope we'll all meet Utah on that great day." He's so willing there to die. I hope we'll all meet Utah in that land beyond the sky.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, I know what I was thinking of a while ago, when the work's all done this fall.
Yeah, I like it.
I've got the words to it, but I don't have them with me. That was really good. Now, Neil says he's got another one.
I
I think.
I'm trying to remember it. I can't do it.
Oh, well, just sing what you know.
It's Mama's turn.
Who, me?
Sing, Granny.
Oh, I couldn't care out you.
Yeah,
You can always sing happy birthday to yourself, that way you know it.
Have you got a lot of practice, Eric?
Eric, you ought to sing one.
I don't know how to sing. I don't know no song.
Sing off my way, Mom. You forgot it?
Why don't you sing How Great Thou Art, and then they can chime in with you on the chorus.
Hey, let me hold that thing.
You can't sing.
No.
I can record it upside down.
I
Let
can
him
do
sing
it.
one.
Put it on, just put it on the,
Put it on. Everybody sing.
yeah, put it on the pole.
Oh, that.
Does everybody know that song?
What? Not singing nothing.
Oh, you can just hum along.
How great thou art.
I know. Go get out of the chest if you want to hear that.
Well, that coffee is
Here, I'll fix it. But he ain't offering to get it, I'm gonna get it. I'll fix
Just
it.
let him hurt. You made me hurt, baby.
I'll just get you.
I told you to go to a dentist and you wouldn't do it.
You didn't
Well, you didn't tell me to go to the
Or a
dentist.
jail or whatever y'all are talking about.
Don,
Hey, well, wait,
sure enjoyed you, darling.
you got
Or
to kiss me
jail,
goodbye,
whatever
'cause
y'all
I may
saying.
leave.
Or a jail.
I enjoyed
If he
you.
gets on jail,
Oh,
I
hush.
don't even know what it is, but if he gets it, I won't.
Hey, what's all this?
I said I enjoyed your song. What was the deal? Oh, woman, not.
Y'all be careful.
We will.
Linda?
We always
They say it always sure
Yvonne,
God seeing you again. We always do.
Just like a blind man, I stumbled along, worry and fear I claimed for my own. And like a blind man that God gave back his sight, praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. See, I couldn't do it if I had to be up in front of somebody. Praise the Lord, I saw the light.
I'll tell you a good one that Neil used to sing. I don't know who sang with him. Seems like Mary sang with him. Why me, Lord? Oh, that is the prettiest thing. It makes me
Why
want
me,
to
Lord?
shout.
What did I ever do to deserve things from you? And I see, I can't even remember.
Sometimes if you just hum it a little while,
Why
it'll
me,
come to
Lord?
you.
It's sure pretty.
What have I ever done to deserve even one of the blessings I've known? Why me, Lord? When we done that in church, I had to write it down and read it down.
Yeah. And you could
Lord, help me, Jesus, I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hands, and now that I know that I've needed you, so help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hands, Jesus. My soul's in your hands.
Oh, that's pretty. I love that.
Do it again.
That's good.
Did you write it down?
Oh,
Well, I hadn't done it for 4 years, 5 years.
Now you ready to record something?
No, I don't record that.
You don't record nothing?
You probably already did.
Should do it again with while Mary's helping.
But see, I'm running two verses
Yeah.
together, Yvonne. That's why I can't separate them. It's not that I
She's
forget
running
them.
hers in with you, so it's working out.
That sounded good, both of you together.
Well, it sure did.
I used to do it with equipment, the microphone, and I could do it where I didn't have to force
There's
it.
a good
Yeah.
When you have to force
too.
the volume through it, you lose your music, or I do. With a bass voice anyway. I have to do it with a microphone.
And you two sound so good together.
And the kindness you show. I think I'm a little low. But if I got any higher, it'd be too high. I'd have to raise the roof. Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known? Why me, Lord? What did I ever do to deserve love from you and the kindness you've shown? Lord, help me, Jesus. I've wasted it, so help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hand. And now that I know that I needed you, so help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hand. Jesus, my soul's in your hand. There's a guitar back there.
It's all pretty.
That's all I can do.
I always get a blessing when I sing.
I went out there, man, it's 4 days of math. Well, his welding was coming to a head where he was finishing the actual physical part of welding, and his blueprinting, he had already passed his blueprinting class. Well, but at his math class, he missed 4 mornings in a row in his math class, and they suspended him from math. And without finishing, getting his degree in the math, he can't get his certification in the welding.
Well, I'll say.
So now what he's got to do, he's got to go take that test in March. So that's what we're going to do. He's got the welding down pat. We're going to bring him down here. He's going to go to work with me, Jimmy. We're going to lay brick and rock and anything else, bar places, whatever we can do. And until we'll put him in college here in January, let him finish that math, then we'll get him certified. And we can be working all this time too.
Good morning.
She's saying good morning to you, Mama.
Good morning, son.
Morning, Baba.
Have you got your tape going?
Yeah.
Ought to run it back through the TV so we can see it.
You don't like Santa Claus, huh?
No.
That Crystal, she'll get up and she'll say, then the morning she goes, good morning, Daddy. And John's a big cut up. Ah, hush, Crystal. Good morning, Daddy. And she said, good morning, Daddy, about 4 times, and he finally said good morning. But Sharon says even when she wakes up from her nap in the afternoon, she comes in and says, good morning, Mama.
Well, I'll say. They're cute.
She is, Seems like all the children are different. Nathan and Matt are almost as sweet. They're nearly sick, they're so sweet. And those little girls are such, they're pills.
Well, you don't need no light with that thing, Wendell. It just
It's a low light.
Good.
does it perfect, don't it? See, plumb in the other room. You couldn't do that with any other camera. It's
Hey, George, you're on
You know, Wendell,
TV.
I'm an electronic bug, and this technology's got out of my...
Yeah.
It just went off left me.
I didn't know I was
Really
so
something.
wrinkled till I seen
Well,
myself
Mommy,
on that TV.
You're not that wrinkled for 70.
at
Well, you're 76.
Yeah, I'll be 77 if I live.
Hey, Mama, just remember
April.
this. From the first minute of birth, you start getting old.
Oh,
And the longer you're here, the worse you look.
Goes downhill from the start.
Everybody says, oh, they're not getting old, they're just getting better. Well, my gosh, I don't know anybody that looks better today than they did yesterday. That maybe window don't ever heat.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
Howdy.
Let me show you something. I want to go for a few minutes. Could I?
I guess.
Show her how to operate it.
It's operating now, and all you got to do to cut it off is push that button right there. You think?
That little orange button?
Yeah.
Just push it in.
That's all you got to do.
Nah, Yvonne can't handle that.
That's
And if you want,
that's too
if you want to see
technological.
what you're doing, you can just look in there. You don't even have to get around there. You can just put that thing where you want it.
Huh.
And
Look
you
at that character.
And you can look around there. And you can turn it around here.
Okay.
And it's on automatic focus. And it's running.
Dad.
And it's running.
Okay.
Take off. We don't need you.
Tell
I
Mamie
can
Joe
turn it
hi.
off.
Go on to Mamie Jo.
Where you going?
Down here.
I can go how to push the red button. And just,
We got a secret.
Oh, I believe.
Neil, would you let Mom and Dad sit there where they're close together, and then I'll
sure
just,
I will.
hey, Dad, we're ready for you to come in here.
Hey, Pop.
Yeah.
Not only are we ready, we
We
insist.
messed up a tape twisted on me yesterday.
It
It
did.
took an hour.
Yeah,
It was more than an hour window. We sat there and talked.
Well,
I'm
it was
just,
a long time. And none
big
of it.
price.
But whenever I started to replay it, the thing had twisted in there.
Come in here,
can I
hon.
tip it just a little more by pulling up on this?
You can't find where it, that first
Well, you
fold
can't
over.
get in there really too. I mean, of course, it didn't take.
I think I'll move this
Taken on the wrong
coat.
side of the tape.
Yeah, pick my,
But it done it,
don't
twisted.
let somebody put it
It's
on the
taken
stove like they did
Yeah.
last night.
It just opened up.
Thank.
It wasn't even warm, but it's not a good idea.
On my little,
Yeah, smooth that
my
on.
audio
Let's take the
cassettes,
apron
when
off.
they do that, Tony will turn it until he
Yeah,
finds where
well,
that fold over is, and then
Yeah.
flip it over.
Yeah, you can do that on a cassette.
But these
things are
they're
closed
sealed.
in, and you're not supposed to be able to get in. I'm just gonna take it back to him and get the
Yeah, I would,
$10
because it's
back
no
as a
defect.
defective tape.
Yeah, it's not no
Well, it
defect in
was.
this.
But now that's doing okay this morning. I don't think there's any problem. That's the same tape we were taping on last night. So there shouldn't be any problem, shouldn't there?
It's the Amiga Christian Fellowship, and they don't have any other church of its kind anywhere in the United States.
He said, did you hear him
Okay,
say
now.
that was a result of the Businessmen's Association?
Yeah, it come out of the full gospel business.
Yeah.
As close as I can.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Don't freeze to death.
Hey, Wendell, there's a liquor store just after you turn left on Canal Street.
I'm sure needing the other.
I'll go. I direct all my good friends down there.
What do they sell down there? Orange juice?
Yeah. I need to trim my mustache, Yvonne. It's getting a little shaggy. Or my eyes are too close to the other one.
Well, that's a good picture. Don took, looked good on there last night.
Oh, I tell you, we just
I
had
was
the
so
best
proud
time
of
in the
Neil
world.
and Don and all of them here.
You didn't hear what I told my little, well, I ain't gonna say it because it's on tape.
Let's see if we can get Mom and Dad to talk with us a little. Dad got wound up yesterday and did some real good talking, and he didn't want to do it then, so I know it. But we're not going to do a whole lot, Dad. We're not going to wear you out
You
this
get
morning.
him wound up and he won't hush.
I need a newspaper. Excuse me a minute. Is there a newspaper here?
Yeah, there's all kinds.
Close the door.
Yesterday's. Thank you. Welcome. This office.
Same thing
I don't
for my
know.
guy.
Is that yesterday's? I guess. I get them scattered around here, I don't know.
Oh, you left for something?
See the other section.
There's something on the floor down there under the chair.
That's an advertisement. Was you looking for an advertisement?
Probably the want ads.
On ads, I imagine.
Now, there's that supplement. They advertise everything in there.
I don't know what was the
This
paper.
is part of Sunday's paper here, Wendell.
Sunday's a long time.
Gone.
Oh, yeah. Well, now, this is Friday's, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, this is last night's paper.
That's it. That got the one ads in it?
Yeah, that's the back page there at the moment.
Okay. Thank you.
I do the same thing for a white guy.
Nice.
Yeah, usually you can't shut Daddy up. I guess he ain't anointed this week.
Well,
You got any olive oil?
cooking oil, bacon grease on it.
Yeah. We'll put some bacon grease on him and anoint him.
Mom, we'll talk with you first, and then that gives Dad a chance to
Springboard.
get to want to do it right. One thing I didn't ask you yesterday morning was, do you have any idea how Mom and Papa met?
No, I don't. No, I don't guess.
Now, you saw Dad working on the road when you, probably about the first time you saw him, huh?
Yeah, your daddy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but where did you meet him? Where did you go out to the road and say hello? Or?
No, we had a dance, didn't we? Wasn't that it?
Yeah.
And then us girls, me and Opal and Annabelle,
Now
we
that-
picked out our boys, our men. And of course, I was left with the last and I took George.
He was
had to take the
leftovers.
bottom of the bucket. Hallelujah.
Then, of course, they got Walter and Buck.
Yeah. And so did Dad dance with you?
Yeah, we danced everywhere. I don't know where we
What did y'all think about getting the last scrape out of the bottom of the bucket? It looked like you both was the last two that you had to take each other or not get anybody, huh? That's his Red
It was a
Simmons.
showdown.
Anyway,
What did you think when you asked her to dance?
Well, I guess I didn't think.
So you don't know how Mom and Papa met. I've heard the story, because it might not have been how they met, but he lassoed her. You know,
Roped her?
yeah. That he told that to be true. I don't know whether that's when he first met or whether he was flirting with it. Probably it's just,
boy, he was good looking when he was young. Papa was
yeah.
real good looking. Now, I just don't remember too much about Mama and Papa back.
You know that book, Ma'am Jones of the Pecos, says that the Jones were the first white people in Roswell. When you was a kid, how many white people were around compared to Spanish?
There wasn't too awful many. I
Wasn't a
don't
whole
think.
lot of white people down here in this neck of the woods.
I just don't remember too much about Papa and Mama.
Well, let me ask Daddy a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
In the last 75 years, man has accomplished more in the last 75 years than all of the rest of history combined. What did you think about going from the horse and buggy days into the jet age? Did it seem kind of remarkable that all these things would be happening at once in your lifetime?
Yes, that did. I guess it affected me just like it did everybody else. So they wanted to move up higher.
A lot of progression there, wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah, it rocked along at the pace of a horse or a donkey for hundreds of years, and
Yeah.
then
Get off the horse and into a car. And
Well,
that's it.
Yeah, it
got
into
off,
the
got
moon.
off of that horse and buggy stuff, got in that Model T Ford, boy. That's when we
Oh,
blew our
boy.
top.
Y'all went to rumble seating right into the roller and 20s, didn't you?
Had to push them up that mountain. Was all going to Queen for something. I don't know. I guess it was,
Probably another dance.
well, it was either a dance or what do you call them when they have religious?
Dinner on the campground and
No.
camp meeting.
Well, I don't know. Anyway, I think that was where we was going. I don't know.
Oh, y'all went to church after that
Yeah,
first
church
dance.
up there.
Oh, well,
They
that's the
had
way to
church.
get your life straightened out.
well, see, they got saved when I was a baby.
Yeah.
So, and Wendell's folks got saved when he was a baby.
No, I don't. We wasn't going to no dance. I know.
Well, there's always having picnics, Mama, up
Yeah.
there, and that's where you go up there to them.
Oh, it's our camp meeting. See, I couldn't.
What it
remember.
was, see, it's all them old-timers are trying to get their daughters married off, and all the other old-timers trying to get their sons married off, so they would create situations where they could all get together like they do today. You remember the young people at the churches all go out and have ice cream and donuts and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's the way they got together back then, and it's similar now. Y'all just used excuses like dances and camp meetings and dinner on the ground and picnics just so y'all go out there and make moon eyes at each other, huh, George?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Can you think of anything we talked about yesterday, Mom, that I can't?
You know, I slept a night.
Well, I think I did too.
What sleep
We,
I got.
We talked about your grandmother Annie Campbell.
Uh-huh.
Her folks lived in
Virginia.
Virginia, and you said her dad was a full-blood Indian,
Well, that's what I heard now.
and her mother
And
was.
he acted like some kind of like Indian. He was pretty mean.
Oh, you met him and you saw him.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Yeah, I met him.
What do you remember?
Well, he got mad at Paul Jones over something, and he mistreated my grandmother, his own daughter. And they was having a picnic, and Mother, we called her Mother,
Uh-huh.
not Grandma,
Yeah.
said, Maud, will you get Daddy a plate of stuff? Mom said she said to herself, yeah, I'll get him a plate of stuff. See, Mama was mad because he mistreated
Her mother.
her mother,
Yeah.
and she wouldn't get him anything. Mama didn't get it. I don't know how he ever got a plate. I don't know whether somebody else got it for him or not, but Mama wouldn't do it because she was mad at him.
But you weren't there, or were you?
Yeah, I guess I was around there somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you remember about her mother, Annie's mother?
Well, I always thought she was full-blooded Indian, but she denied it. She looked like an old squaw.
A lot of people back then really did deny it because they felt like
Yeah,
it was
not accepted.
stigma.
Now, do you remember the amount of money that Mom got whenever they sold that Indian land down up there in Oklahoma?
They didn't sell it. They seemed like, I don't know how big of checks they get, but the government finally beat them out of it.
Do you have any idea how they knew that Mom was a descendant of Indian
Well, I
tribe?
don't know. I guess I don't know. They had ways back
Do you
in that
remember
time.
Mom getting that check?
Yeah, I sure do.
That's
Yeah.
the only time we
Yeah.
have with our
Yeah.
Indian heritage.
I would suppose a lot of the Indians now have what they call a register. Like John Church, the little blonde-headed Dutchman-looking fella, is a registered. He's a quarter Indian, and they have to register, you know, in order. But he could get loans for houses to live on the reservation and things like that.
Yeah,
But of course, he doesn't want it. But they have to pay part of his college expenses.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, you know, if you've got enough Indian blood in you and you're registered and they know it, there are still benefits.
Yeah.
I guess I've just got about a fourth.
Probably that.
Probably not that much.
Maybe eight,
No,
Maybe.
because you got a lot of other ancestors
yeah,
contributed to you.
yeah.
All right, now where do you think me and Don and Yvonne got the darkness now? It looks like it comes from Papa, but where'd he get it?
He was Black Dutch.
He was Black Dutch.
Uh-huh.
Now, I thought you used to claim Mum was a lot of Black Dutch, too.
Well, they were Dutch, all right. That Indian.
I think Papa's half Mexican myself.
No, he wasn't.
That water makes him that ugly.
Or that
You
black.
guys, you're awful close.
Oh, that dark, huh, Daddy?
No, I think y'all got that darkness from Dad.
Well, I'm trying to find out if well, I better.
But you know, he was awful dark in his face, but he was just as fair under his clothes as body.
If you keep sunlight off of dark skin, it'll get white. But it's not, that dark skin's usually not spotted with freckles and stuff like that.
Oh.
You know, that's different.
But he was a good-looking man when he was young.
Seemed like there's more Indian come out of him, though, than out of Mom.
Yeah.
the way it looks.
He showed it in a way, but I don't know if they had any Indian blood in them on Dad's side. Sure don't.
Sure. The black Dutch don't carry it this color. See, this color that me and Yvonne have is a native Indian color here in this hemisphere. The only dark eyes and dark hair that you're going to get like that's Caucasian, it come out of India. The Spaniards, the French, and the English, when they come over here, what they did, this is what history don't tell too many people, what they did when they conquered this country, it was all Indians from the tip of South America to the North Pole. It was all Indians over here. All right? Spain conquered the southern part, and France got in the middle, and the English got the top part. Okay, but they all mixed with the Indians, and what they did, they come over here and killed the Indian men, and the conquistadors mixed with the Indian woman. And that's where you got that dark-eyed, dark-haired, dark complexion come out of this hemisphere. I don't think it came from black Dutch from Europe. That's why
I think I'm supposed to be dark complected. I had my dark black hair and eyes, but still I'm pretty fair. I don't know. Maybe I don't get out in the sun enough.
Well, tell me about your grandfather's ranch. How big was it?
How many rooms? It was good size, wasn't it? The old ranch.
The ranch house? I was, the ranch, all the property.
Well, Yvonne, he had a whole lot of water rights until New Mexico became a state in 1912, and they took it all the way except 36.
He was well
He owned land, before New Mexico became a state in 1912, he owned land from Seven Rivers to Pecos.
He was a well-off man.
But in 1912, they took that all away from him. And there's still 36 water rights out there on 36 sections. But they've only got 10 to 12 acres of deeded land, and the rest of it's owned by the state and federal government. At least 99 years at a time.
Yeah.
Now that's what Patsy told me.
I guess she'd know. I wouldn't know.
But there's 36 square miles out there she's still got control over.
36 square miles.
Sections, that's a square mile.
How much?
One section is a square mile.
Oh.
And she's got 36 sections.
Well, let's see.
Which is really not a whole lot of land. 10 miles long and 10 miles wide is 100 square miles, see?
Yeah.
So you take half of that, 5 miles long and 5 miles wide, that'd cover her whole ranch. Almost.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not half of it. 25 square miles. Oh, well, I've talked enough. I'm not even on camera. It's your turn.
Oh, I wish they'd Yvonne had got you on it.
He's on it.
It back there
I flip it on it, and his voice is on it. Gee, I just can't remember what all else we did talk about yesterday. We talked about Pop going to the military academy. You and Dad decided it was more of a higher learning situation than to be a military person. I always thought he went there because he was so mean they couldn't put up with him.
11 o'clock, Mary's gonna think I run away from home. Hey, Merry Christmas 1984. I'll see y'all next year.
Okay.
We'll see you at 12.
Okay.
We'll catch y'all for you.
Okay.
I just can't think of what we did talk of yesterday at all. Just don't.
Which house out there were you raised in?
That's the old home place.
There on Lower Rocky.
Yeah.
Where all those trees and
bluffs.
Yeah.
And,
pretty close to the schoolhouse.
yeah, it was about half a mile to school.
Where was Mom raised? Was she raised in the old ranch house or in, do you know?
I don't know.
Did they build the old ranch house out there after they built?
Yeah, she was raised in the old house.
Huh?
Rock house.
An old rock house? Is it the one that's the last one that Paul lived in out there, the old ranch house?
No, not the ranch. Down there on Rocky, the old big house, Rock House.
Where Aunt May lived.
Yeah,
That's where Mom was raised.
that's where Mom was raised. That house was built in 1908, so you know that's where she was raised.
Yeah.
That was a really nice house back then, wasn't it? So then it was later that Paul built the ranch house farther on up.
Yeah.
Was it as nice ever?
Huh?
Was the ranch house that he built after he built the one that May lived in as nice as that one?
No, no.
It looked more like a real old ranch
Rex house.
than that other place. It was a really raw ranch.
We talked about Papa's dad owning a large ranch, and
I think he raised horses. I don't know what he raised. Something.
one time I think it was Papa that told Wendell that Grandpa Jones had a herd of horses like a lot of people had a herd of cows. Do you remember anything about what Papa told when he went on the when he drove the cattle like to Kansas City? Do you remember any of the stories he told?
He never did go to Kansas City with
Well, where did he drive them to?
Well, they had to cross a river,
around in some place.
He had to go through Amarillo.
and this the cattle had come out red. This water was red.
Must have been Red River. I remember him telling about how they'd camp outside of Amarillo. There used to be a lake out there, which there wasn't by the time we lived there, and he said they used to stop there, and all the cowboys would get their pay and go into Amarillo, which was just a little cow town that time. They were driving somewhere, and I think he said Kansas City, but I could be mistaken. But you don't remember any. Do you remember anything that they?
I remember Mother and was at a hack, George, that she was driving and had Aunt May and Mama with her, and these outlaws got after them, and she told Mama, says, now you hold the reins to the horses or the whatever, and says, I'll lay the whip. See, these outlaws was after them. They was wanting them horses. So Mother laid the whip, and they run in there and drove into the old range, and they told Paul Jones and some of the other brothers about it. And they jumped on their horses and looked them up. They come back after a while. They asked them, did you fight them? Yep, we found them.
They believed in capital punishment.
And they killed them, 2 outlaws or 3.
Now, what did you mean when she laid the whip?
Had the whip, she'd whip them horses.
Horses to make them really
make
go.
them run faster. And Mama was guiding them.
Guiding them.
And Mother was using the whip. And they got in there and got away from them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But there wasn't too many outlaws around in that day and time. Just every now and then. I don't know where they'd come in from. But they used to have
Back
them
east,
horses,
I
I guess.
Well, now we talked too about, well, what's there? Oh, Billy the Kid being a friend of the family. Some people find that incredible, but,
yeah. Billy would have never been a real bad boy. They had that guy and so did his mother. He was just 12 years old.
didn't he get mixed up with a, what kind of war was it?
Oh.
Was it between the sheep herders and the cattlemen, or Well, I read about it, but right now I can't remember. Seemed like, he got hired to fight with one group or something, and that's how he killed a lot of men, because the ranchers were fighting.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about that, Daddy?
I did not hear.
That there was a kind of a ranch war or some kind between the ranchers, maybe the sheep and the cattle ranchers, and Billy the Kid, I think, got mixed up in that. It was kind of hard to fight for one side, and that's where he killed most of his men. But I
don't know.
I've forgotten about it.
Well, he had to kill or be killed after he killed that man for insulting his Ma'am Jones. See, there's all thick. She hid him under they called them counterpanes or something, where the bedspread would fall way down. Hid him from some men that was after him.
Yeah.
There's all good friends. I used to have the pictures of him and of his mother and everything, but I don't know what will come on.
It must have burned up in the house, because I don't remember ever seeing them.
I don't know what I did with him. But he wasn't as bad. He wouldn't have been bad if they hadn't have. They just started, though, when he was 12. And then, I don't know, who was that that shot Uncle John in the back? Some of that. It wasn't Dillinger or what is some of them men? George?
Well, I think it might have been, I can't call his name if it wasn't Dillinger.
See, him and maybe one or two of his other brothers, I don't know where they'd been and where, I guess they was going home.
Was it Pat Garrett?
I don't know. Somebody.
I think Pat Garrett killed John.
Anyway, John says, well, I'm going to stop off here and talk to some of my friends. And then when he turned his back, one of them shot him in the back. And boy, Billy the Kid said, ma'am, don't cry. I'll get him. And he did. Whoever it was, and I've forgotten. Too much, too long ago. But he got him, killed him. No, he was a good friend to the Joneses and all. But he wouldn't have been bad if he just had to kill to keep him being killed. That's about all I know about some of that. Old Ma'am Jones had ride a horseback for I don't know how many miles. She was the only midwife they had. And she'd ride for miles to deliver a baby. I did have the write up how many she delivered that way. That was the only one in the whole country she had to do it. So I don't know. In a way, those was hard times, but really, I don't believe there was as hard times as they are now. Of course, because they're shooting and a killing now, it's dangerous to stick your head out. I don't know what this outfit done over here night before last.
All the drinking that's going on nowadays.
Yeah, I see a bunch of beer cans over there.
They're not really in good control of their head and their thinking capacity. Well, if you think of something else after I talk to Dad, well, you can butt in because you might forget about it. But I wanted, Dad, the one thing that you told me yesterday that I didn't know until you told me was the fact that your dad did mining. He did mining. I'm going to have to move this since you're setting up. Let me, there you go. over there in Dog Canyon. I suppose that's why you moved there in the first place, huh?
I don't remember. Why do we move there?
I suppose it was now. And it was all the work that he could find that he could do to make a living. And I think that he found out he'd get a job, and he went over there and went hauling over to El Paso.
Now, what kind of ore did you say it was?
It is lead and copper.
Lead and copper. And how did they haul it?
And wagon and mules.
Were there other people that worked there, or was it just your family?
Oh, I suppose there was. Oh no, they wasn't no. Just a few people that worked there, because they just drilled holes by hand and put in dynamite and blew that stuff down. So there wasn't too many working. There wasn't. I doubt if there's over a dozen of them, because they couldn't work in that one room.
They had their houses up there too then, these other
Yeah.
people,
Yeah, they had their house.
Do you remember them when they were hauling that ore, or had it run out by then?
No, I remember that he hauled the ore. All right, that's about all I remember about it. I was just a kid.
I thought we was married then.
That was the last time Mama was talking about Papa working in.
Oh, okay.
Then I guess when you'd take the ore to El Paso and sell it, you'd bring back supplies.
Yeah.
Now, didn't you tell me about the time, did you get to go and it was the first ice cream cone you'd ever seen?
That was Jeff.
Was it Jeff?
That's Jeff.
What did he say when he came?
Well, it was the first ice cream cone he'd ever seen, and the first ice cream, I guess, because we just made the homemade ice cream, mostly snow cones, you know.
Yeah.
We didn't have ice to make ice cream. Only when it snowed, then we made it out of that. And he went over there, and Dad taken him into cafe or drugstore or something, bought him an ice cream cone. And he didn't know what to do with that cone, but he got to looking at the rest of them, they was eating the cone too. So he'd taken a taste of that, and that was all right. So he did eat cone and all. He come back, boy, his eyes as big as dollar. Boy, we bought a ice cream over there and eat the cup, it is he.
Was it Jeff that tried to fry a little bit of clabber one time?
What?
Jeff, did he try to fry some clabber?
Which one of the boys fried the clabber?
Let's see. I don't know whether that is Jeff or Clarence tried to fry that clabber.
I believe it's Jeff.
I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
Got hungry for fried clabber? Tell what happened then.
They thought that, what?
Tell what happened after.
Oh, I don't remember what that.
Oh, well, I guess the clabber just melted in the pan. And he came out and wanted to know who stole.
With nothing.
He wanted to know who got his clabber, his fried clabber.
Yeah.
I'd like for you to kind of describe the house that you lived in there when you were little.
At that time?
When you were little?
We lived in a tent till we got the house down. And we dug the house back into the bank. And dug it back in the bank about 4 feet deep. Still is about 4 foot deep. And then we built a fireplace in the back of it. And then built it up with logs and sink the cracks of them logs with mud. Clay. It didn't wash out very easy. It wasn't just old over dirt. And that stopped the wind all out. And we had a 12-inch log there, 8 and 10 and 12 inch. Made a pretty warm wall. Got and the little fire in the back in that fireplace, we had a pretty good den to live in.
Was that what you called a dugout?
That is what they called a half dugout.
I guess it was pretty cool in the summer then.
Yeah,
And
it's cool.
Fairly warm in the winter,
We
huh?
had logs on top of that and about a foot of dirt on top of that, and it's cool.
Yeah, on the roof. You had like a foot of dirt all over the roof.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Was it divided into rooms?
Ours wasn't, but you could have been divided into more rooms and stuff like that, you know.
So it just served as the whole house, the kitchen and the bedroom and the everything.
Right.
It just served for the whole house,
Yeah.
the kitchen and
Yeah, that
bedroom. And,
room, of course, we had them tents and things. If we needed extra room, we'd stretch up a tent. So
uh-huh. What kind? Go ahead.
we knew how to get along in
Yeah.
them days, you know.
Yeah.
But people forgot all of that.
Yeah.